Hi there, it's time to remake thumbnail in front of you again. So this time we have this horror game, Little Nightmares 3, and basically this is from a channel called Rusty's Dust Gaming, and here we can see, well, looking from a large screen, it's like complete gameplay. It's very eye-catchy, and there are 4 different elements. I think the one on the top right is trying to show what these 2 little guys are. It's a bit tricky because it's like a horror game and everything seems to be like grayish, less contrasty, but anyway, let's see how we can make this better. I will probably need to go to the internet and find some of the gameplay images because when I work on it, we'll know whether that's needed. So one thing for Rascal, so if we're looking at this, I'm looking at it on a desktop. If you're working on your thumbnail, like whether you are like doing gaming channels or other channels, be very careful one thing about the text. So if you shrink them on your browser to about maybe 30%, 33% of the size, just control minus or control plus to zoom in, zoom out, then you see whether the texts are readable. Complete gameplay, yes, it is, but it started to get blurry, much like the other text in the other text in the other thumbnails. So just be mindful of that, not to look at it 100%. If I work on Canva, I'll shrink it all the way to 10%, and we'll get to see that in a minute. I have already extracted the thumbnail, so as usual, let's duplicate 2 more pages. Drag this in, that's the original. And I have to extract the elements out as well. I'll just do a quick check on the internet. What kind of images? No, I don't want this. I want to go to Google, and I just want to see Little Nightmares. It was there, free. And just focus on the images. Okay, we've got these 2 little guys already. So whenever I find an image that I can potentially use, I'll open it in a new tab. It's pretty low resolution. I'm just trying to find something that the Rascal has been using. So we've got these 2 little guys, and then that little baby, that's the deluxe. So I guess it's the adventure. We're controlling these 2 guys. So a lot of these images, okay, we've got this guy already. But it's from Sketchfab, it's not from the game itself, but from there we see a lot of relative images. So those are probably the one directly from the game. Yeah, just checking what he has been using. At least this is like more contrasty. This is from the fandom, so I think is alright to use this, at least for this video, as illustrative purpose. Yeah, got this guy. I'm just trying to see whether there's one where this guy is looking straight into the camera, like the one in the Sketchfab. But I guess that's not easy. Okay, let's add something. Monster. Yeah, not too much. Okay, finally, the third one. This guy that's chasing the two characters. Okay, we've got that baby again. This guy hanging around. Okay, this seems to be... we're getting close to getting what we're trying to see or find. Okay, we've got this guy. Just trying to check. Yeah, it seems to be her. Those 6 hands. Okay, let's check. Okay, this one. Looks pretty cool, actually. Because I wanted to find a face. But this one is pretty... that one was pretty pixelated. So if you look at all these patterns, it may be the case in the trailer. Because they want to make it like pretty scary with all those texture. So yeah, why not? Let's not save it for now. I just want to open it in new tab because I want to have one that she is running after these two little guys as much as what Rascal has been using. But if there's none available, yeah, that one just lost all the contrast, so that's why I'm trying to find an alternative. You know what? Let's try this way. I'll open this. I double click it in Windows, that means it's in the photo app now. I just crop it, save as a new image. This little nightmare free for search. Okay, now we have this one. I'll go to the image search and see whether Google can do its magic. Okay, we have something similar. That's again very dark. Oh, this one looks good, actually. But, well, it's her hands, I think. Yeah, not much after the initial one in the beginning. This seems to be the best. I'll open it in the new tab. And I like these pretty much. Oh, I like this a lot better, but we need to find one with clearer, basically larger, higher resolution. Okay, now we've got 5 images. So this one with these little guys, the main characters, I believe. And then with the hands of the supervisor coming out from the door. This one obviously is of higher resolution. That thing's a lot clearer compared to this one. So we'll probably drop this one. And we've got here the bigger images. Okay, we've got this as well. And yeah, let's do this trick again. I just, once again, crop it. just save as. I was saving it as PNG earlier, so I've searched number 2. Okay, just do a new search with these 2 little guys and add to my search Little Nightmare 3. Okay, not really getting me something similar to what, okay, this one. Yeah. But that's it. Again, it's very dark. Okay, I think then we can use the 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 to choose from, so I think that's good enough. Well, you can save these images and extract them from the background, because a lot of times you find WebP or JPEG. Just save them all. That's the supervisor. There's a typo, I know, but it's okay. Supervisor chase. And finally, our mini heroes. Lil LM3 heroes. Okay. Now let's get to this part where we once again remove the background. Yeah, pretty clean. Just this edge over here. Turn on the brush and see what's going on. Maximize the brush. Remove the mask around here to get back her shoulder, and well, that was actually correct because that's the hair. Yeah, let's click remove again. It looks fine. So let's save as a copy. PNG. No background. And the chasing. You need to crop it just to get the key part, what we need. I want to retain these boxes for the time being because they give us a scale of these little guys and like this big guy, the supervisor at the back. I'm not going to remove the background for the time being, just giving it a crop. And then Monster Baby, obviously. So it's already having no background. I just want to save it as a PNG. Monster Baby. And double check whether, yeah, it's still having transparent background. And finally, our 2 mini heroes. Okay, this time I want to try removing the background of this one. Just to get back the thing that there's the stack of stuff that they're standing on. Yeah, I know it's quick and dirty. Normally I would go very close, you know, just to remove this. But for time reason, I don't want to keep you here just to see me cleaning all these like nitty-gritty details. But you probably want to do it for yours. And remember to click remove. Now you see this and save it. LM3 heroes, no background. Okay, now we've got all the elements we have. So we've got these 5 things. Okay, and then there's also the one that originally Rascal is using, this scene over here. So let's pick and choose, right? We may need to get these across. So because those, actually including this one, is scene, all these 3 are having a scene at the back. And unfortunately, it's not that they are, like if we do 3 columns, you see this grid over here, right? If we do 3 columns, we have to enlarge them. I'm bringing this in because I'm trying to see how much adjustment I can make to get it more creepy. So we need more that shadow at the back than the thing lying on the floor. I want to maximize this so you can see it clearly even if you're watching on a mobile. This thing, I don't think it's relevant. This gives us more of that like tense sensation. And then obviously here, but then she is, so they should go into the middle. And once again, enlarge this. Put her to the side. We need to crop this by a bit. But remember to retain the frame so we know she is chasing our heroes. Okay, if we enlarge this too much, this is definitely, you know, blocking the 2, right? Okay, I don't want to remove this. We can crop it to the beak and like this guy's hair, just to see how much or how far we can get away without needing to, yeah, we can crop a bit of his head and move in a bit to the side. Or another way is to shrink this so you've got an area where you can put in some text. Not ideal. Well, or you can just raise it all the way up, but then the supervisor is too tall. Yeah, let's keep it like this. You can turn the background black or like very dark gray, or like matching the color, kind of greenish, bluish green. I'm trying to see whether there's a gradient that's close enough, but obviously there's only a tiny chance they have these kind of horror theme colors. Okay, so that's where it is. Let's adjust these. Now we have all these. It's time to adjust the coloring. You can make it like more saturated, because what I'm trying to get to is both sides are of cooler color tones. This is more bluish, this is more greenish. We want to adjust the vibrance to like basically, and also saturation to enhance that contrast, the color contrast between this one at the center and the sides. So if I shrink them, you can clearly still see the characters. This one may be a bit too dark, so we want to bring up the brightness a little. Yeah, I know in the game you probably want to preserve the brightness so people see how it is in the game, but if your thumbnail isn't catchy enough, it doesn't do the job for you, right? So you can do more contrast and lower a little bit the highlights. Because as long as the sides are, those two on the sides are like less bright than the one in the middle, that's fine. Okay. Actually, I don't want this guy in the middle, but for the time being, let's keep it like that at the moment. I just want to do some edge blur because the lines, but this edge blur only blur inside the image, so that's not helping us because what I want to do is to avoid these harsh lines in between. Another way to do it is to give it like a box. Of course, not using green. Let's try gray and adjust the transparency. So it's not looking as sharp as a cut as it is. Obviously you can do multiple, because if we stack them, if I enlarge this and stack it over, you see the difference, right? And if we adjust the transparency, let's say to 50% each or 55, so we still see the gradient. I'm trying to get the other guy and set it to 55 as well. So there is a bit of a gradient going through the two. So it's not like just a plain sharp line. Press Control G to group the two levels, and then just duplicate one more set. Move it to this side, so it does similar magic. Just to make sure I have it on the edge. Okay. You can lower the transparency if you want to. It doesn't matter if it's like a mobile size or maybe a little, because at least it's not looking as sharp of a cut as before. And obviously you can do it for the bottom edge as well. Just to duplicate a set, turn it 90 degrees and move it down just to align the size of it. It's not doing it for me. Let's ungroup them, because it may be the grouping. Yeah. Yep. Now we can regroup after resizing them. Yeah, we've got this guy that looks like they are standing in a window. And then these two sides, the adventure they are having. And previously, the old version, complete gameplay is a bit tricky. Because, let's say, if you really want to retain, we'll adjust the fonts to something that looks probably matching the horror theme a little better. Yeah, this one I like it. What do they use? Little Nightmare 3. Let's take up. I don't want to do the. Let's go back to just. Yeah, they are using these kind of fonts as well. If you want to, you can use red, but what I can tell you is it doesn't look pretty, like, it doesn't look clear after you shrink it. One thing we can try instead, maybe use black, but not lift the outline using red. Just testing here. Yeah, not, the lines are too thin. Just, yeah, now, yeah, it looks better. So another thing is we don't have to rely on those stripes, because once we put in the text, we can't see them. At least not clearly, right? So complete and gameplay. Just duplicate. We don't need it to be as big. We probably want it to be white, just to give it a bit of contrast again. So let's string it and see what's happened. Yeah, it looks alright to me. How does it look to you? I just want to give them a nudge so it's not going through the bottom. If you want to, you can separate them. It looks to me better if they are sticking together, like basically removing the gap in between. If we separate them, there's quite some color in the middle. Doing this actually works. Yeah, so we've got our first one using the three columns, but then we've also got these guys. So the supervisor is already looking towards the center. So whether or not you want to have her whole face or just part of her, just want to get rid of the gap here. Okay, and you probably want to adjust the brightness of the shadow and then the contrast a little, because I want to bring out her eyes. You can adjust the brightness and bring down the highlights. So now we've got her eyes, and probably sharpen the image, and also intensify the green, so moving the tint towards the green side will help. I need to pull down my glasses once in a while because my glasses are filtering blue rays. Okay, and then this baby, obviously we have to flip so she kind of faces the center, just to make her face as huge as possible. And she is holding something, so we want her to be like above the supervisor. Now with two big faces sitting on the two sides, again making it contrasty, and green fits and less warm color, vibrance. So the supervisor is a bit bluish green, and this guy, this baby monster, is a bit yellowish. So it naturally forms kind of contrasting colors, but our heroes are kind of warm as well, you know, orange. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the supervisor's face is cropped. I just want to see whether I can put them like around her arms, like the baby's arm. In such a way that it looks like as if they are standing on top of her, like instead of the guy that she's grabbing. I want to flip it because they're standing in a way that it seems like yeah, that looks cool to me. So what I need to do now, if I shrink it, we don't see the two guys, right? So maybe what we can do is instead of showing that much of the baby monster, let's crop out first, because otherwise it's getting too large and out of our control. We just need to see the baby's hand. You see where I'm getting to, right? This rule of third, this line over here, that's where our little guys, I'm trying to make them stand right over there. And it's good that the baby's eye is looking at it at that point, and the supervisor as well looks like she is also looking over there. So how do we do this? We need to erase whatever that's here. So we don't want any of these to come out. So you don't have to go back to the photo app. You just can do erase in Canva just to get rid of as much of these as possible. Just treat it as they have their feet. Yeah, that's it. Now we've got these two guys back in the picture. And what I need to do is to clean up the hand of this baby monster as well. Again, use the eraser, take out this guy here so we don't see what the baby monster is grabbing. And then done. Now it's much cleaner, but we want that hand to be covering their legs. I'm just enlarging this as much as possible, so when they're standing over the hand, it looks alright. So because the baby monster has already got like a transparent background, I just need to duplicate it and trim out the hand over here so we don't see where it's coming from, right? And then we trim this just to keep the hand and as close as possible so we are not reviewing that part. We can enlarge the hand as well so it covers these two guys well, and as if it's still connected to the arm at the back. Okay, let's lower this a little so now it looks connected, right? And also because it's a bit blurry and these guys are clear, you can say it's depth of field, or you can adjust the sharpness a little so it's still a little bit blurry, but we can see a little bit of the texture. And adjusting the clarity would look the hand look a bit more dirty, more scary. Okay, now it's like these two guys are being grabbed. Okay, right? At least after we shrink it, we can still kind of see what's going on. And it looks as if the two guys are like leaning a bit to the right hand side. So let's move them to here and adjust the hand a little. Okay. See whether there's a little bit of room for us to adjust, because we don't want our heroes to look too small. Remember I said mobile friendly. Okay, we clearly see there are two guys over there. That's going to let people probably stop and see and check what are those two guys. Okay, these two, want them to be more colorful in front of the other guys. Okay, now the challenge is the background, right? I'm trying to see if there are any creepy images like this deluxe edition image we can possibly use. So if I copy this image, it's in the background, so it doesn't have to be clear. I just want to make sure, like especially the supervisor's hair, like this clear crop over there is gone. So I'll put that in the background. I don't need, well, you can use those two guys, but we don't need them. So alternate one in Canva will show you the layers. This rule of third, we can get rid of it. Okay, we don't want to see the guys at the back because that's not adding to the story we're telling with the thumbnail. What I'll do, or you can do, is to rotate 180 degrees or just flip it upside down. What I want, or what I need, is just this chaos at the back. Okay? Without any particular details. And I want the colors matching that of the supervisor's hair. So the mist and stuff at the back. Okay, just crop it, just to make sure it stays as close as to the thumbnail size as possible. Now, this supervisor here, the dark patch, we can definitely erase them, because we just want to make it look like as if her hair is standing out, and she's got quite a bit of like messy hair. Let's try to see. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to get to. And I'm just checking. She, like the baby monster, I want her to be sharper because of her eyes. And I want to make it almost the same size as the supervisor. Both looking at our heroes. Alright? And then, obviously, we need to bring back our complete gameplay. Where do we put this? Here it's blocking the hand entirely, so that's not the option. Let's try put it at the top. And what's the size of this? 94.4. Let's try 95 for both. Now people will know is a horror game. Well, if the red is too bright, we want to use a more scary red. Okay. Not as bright as the one we previously have. Right? Okay. So if we shrink it, we can still see there's complete gameplay, and then these two are scary eyes watching something in the middle. Compared to the 3 columns, which is also fine, it really depends on you. You can do an A/B test and see which one works better. So these are the 3 we have. The original one, the one in the middle, I love this one most, and then this one may also work. Hope you like what I've created, and so if you have a question about thumbnails you want me to take a look, remember to put into the comment for Rascal. I'll leave the link in the comment as well. I'll tag you in the video description so you can find the 2 thumbnails I've created. Hope you like this session. See you in the future.